everyone, so today I'm gonna show you how many moves I can last against the bot of WESLEY So in chess, who's a very strong player of chess and also has 2820 elo. So let's get right into it. I'm playing this white pieces. First I just to move my pawn to e4. It moved its pawn to c5. So now I should just calmly develop my knight to f3 and now c3. It moved its bishop to d7. So I should move my pawn to d4 attacking its pawn. It captured my pawn, so I should recapture it with my knight. It moved its pawn to g6. So now I should move my bishop to e3. It moved its knight to f6. So now in this position I should move my bishop to d3 developing it. It moved its knight to g4. So now in this position I should move my bishop to g5. It moved its bishop to g7. Now I should move my knight to b3. It moved its knight to c6. So now in this position I should move my pawn to f3 threatening its knight. It moved its pawn to h6 threatening my bishop. But that I should just calmly retreat my bishop to d2. It moved its knight to e5. So I should move my bishop to e2, retreating it. It moved its pawn to g5. So now I should move my bishop to e3. It castled to the king's side. So now I should move my pawn to h4, offering for a trade. It accepted the trade and captured my pawn. So now I should move my pawn to d2. Moved its pawn to a5. So now I should move my pawn to a4. It moved its bishop to e6. So now I should just calmly castle to the queen's side instead of the regular king's side. It moved its pawn to h3. So now I should just calmly capture its pawn with my bishop. It moved its knight to g6. So now I should move my pawn to g4. It moved its bishop to b3, so they recapture it with my pawn. It moved its knight to d4, so now I should move my king to b1, controlling d squares. It moved its knight to b3, capturing my pawn, so I should move my queen to e3, making it more active on that square. It moved its rook to c8. So now I should move my knight to b5, developing it. It moved its bishop to h6. So now it is threatening my queen, but it also captured my bishop, so I should recapture it with my queen. It moved its rook to d8. So now I should move my pawn to f4. It moved its queen to b6. Now in this position I should move my pawn to f5, threatening its knight. It moved its queen to c6. So now I should just calmly move my knight to c3, blocking its attack. It moved its pawn to d5. So now I should capture its pawn on h3 with my rook. It moved its queen to f6. So I should capture its knight with my pawn. Recaptured my pawn with its pawn. So now I should move my queen to h7 check. It moved its king to f8. So now I should just calmly capture its pawn on d5 with my rook. It captured my pawn on c3 with its rook, so I should just calmly recapture it with my pawn. It moved its knight to d4. I should capture it with my pawn. It moved its queen to b6. I should block it with my bishop. It moved its queen to f6. So now I should move my pawn to a5, threatening its queen. It moved its pawn to g5. So now I should capture its queen with my pawn. It recaptured my pawn with its pawn. So calmly captured so with my bishop. it recaptured my bishop with its king. So now I shall move my queen to b7, capturing its pawn. It moved its king to f8. So now I shall move my rook to d8 to do checkmate. So let's review the game. That is analyzing the game. So let's see which moves we made. None of us made any brilliant moves. I made two great moves while it only made one. I made 25 best moves while it made 15. I made one mistake while it made 6, which is a lot. And none of us made any miss or blunder. So now for the opening, middle game, and ending game also. The opening I did excellent while it did good. In the middle game, I did great while it did excellent. And for the end game, there's no data. So now for the elo, it did 1950 and I did 2500. So now for the accuracy, it did 82.7% and I did 94.7%. So now let's start reviewing. And I will also just to let you listen to the coach what it is saying because it will give a better explanation.
The classic e4, you're staking a claim in the center, nice. Nice. You're beefing up the center while developing the knight, multitasking. This move might cause you trouble, it looks suspicious. You found the only move. What a find. This is huge. You prevented your opponent from being able to attack the knight with a pawn? That's the only move. And you nailed it. What a find. You dodged that bullet. Nice save, keeping that queen alive. You chased that knight away like it stole your lunch. Textbook ladder mate? What a way to close out the game.
So I hope that you liked the video. Please make sure to like and subscribe. Please comment how you thought the video was. And have a nice day.